Just plant a seed, it will grow.
Any seed?
Just any seed. Just get a seed, get like a pot in soil, put it in a cup, plant a seed. You see the day you see that seed sprout,
yeah,
it will change your life forever.
Welcome to Let's Farm Cayman. We are going to be taking you from sofa to soil, starting from zero. So if you're a beginner like me and you want to know more about gardening, you want to learn how you can provide for yourself, this is the series to watch. So in this episode, we're going to be speaking to Mr. Cecil of Island Home Gardening and Landscaping Services. And he's going to be taking us through some of the basics, very, very basics. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about, what soil, what types of soil should you actually be aware of, and the types of soil that are perfect for growing things here in the Cayman Islands. So Mr. Cecil is going to walk us through all of those things, and we're going to get into a bit more information here as well. But Mr. Cecil, it's so good to have you here with us. Tell us a little bit about your business and how you've gotten into farming.
Well, our business is like a small business. We do landscaping and we do main focus is backyard gardening, because I have been in the industry in the Cayman Islands for the past 4 years, but I see more focus is placed on like the maintenance, and I see a lot of persons struggling with their backyard garden. So that's what caused the idea to be born.
Yeah.
And our main focus is to try to get the young people to put their hands in the soil, because I notice a lot of them on games and tablet. I have a 14-year-old and a 2-year-old, and it's hell for me to get them outside, especially in the summer. I said, even our outside is very good for you. So from the youngest to the eldest, we want everybody in the Cayman Island to get their gardening going, get their farming going. That is the main goal that has been placed on my heart, and I won't stop until, well, not stop, I will continue for the rest of my life, because
until you reach the goal.
Everybody can do some form of gardening.
Oh, wow.
And we are here to help you to get your dreams.
Yeah, and it seems like in Cayman there's a lot of wasted space too, because there's a lot of like perfectly landscaped yards, a lot of grass, not a lot of like fruit trees anymore, or actually plants that people can benefit from. So I guess with you wanting to start, you're kind of like on this path of making sure everybody is knowledgeable about these things, makes sense, because there's so much wasted space. So in terms of just like, you've probably been around a lot of the homes on the island. What's some things that you see in terms of, because obviously like when you go to different districts, there's different types of soils and different types of landscapes and things like that. But I guess what we can do is start with the basics. Like, what is soil? Like, what is a good type of soil for people to actually start their farming process?
Well, the Cayman Islands have two main type of soil. They call it the red terra rosa. That is the one in
more savanna area.
Eastern area, and then now you have the sandy loam, that is the one down this side from town, and then West Bay again you have the terra. But what I say to people, what you have to do is to use like your kitchen scrap, because I promote mainly organic garden. You can use your kitchen scrap to build your soil.
So is that like composting?
Yes, you can do your composting and just put your regular scraps in like a bin with the soil and keep turning it for like 2 to 3 months, and then you'll have a good soil additive to use.
Stop, seriously?
Yes.
Like almost like a fertilizer?
Yes, like a fertilizer.
Oh,
but
wow.
Also, what I have observed, one of the main deterrents for people is the chicken. Chickens scratching their garden and
eating all the stuff.
When I started to garden, the chicken was giving me problems. But what I did, I observed their movement. Early morning, late evening. They come in for something to eat, something to drink. So what I do, I set up a little area where they come in and eat in the morning, then they go out and they don't trouble the garden for the rest of the day.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't fence up my garden and no chicken don't scratch.
Yeah, because they get what they want.
Yes, and when the evening...
Wow, they're like the mafia.
Yes, when the evening, when they come in the evening now, they have something to eat again and drink, and then they go on their way. So
my goodness.
I have been gardening for more than 3.5 years now, and no chicken problem. No chicken problem. Yeah.
Wow.
And we have very good weather here
in
the Cayman Islands.
That's true.
So I think we can have a very thriving ecosystem when it's
Yeah.
coming to the gardening sector. But I will teach people to do the right thing because some people are actually fear of the heat.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
say,
true.
no, Cayman have perfect weather. No, you have to
Yeah.
do mulching.
Yes.
Mulching is the number one thing that you need to do in Cayman.
But what's mulching?
Well, you can use your newspaper, your
Mm.
cardboards, your paper scraps, even this, the landscaping company that throw away those grass cuttings,
Mhm.
those can be used also. So I
Seriously.
think going to the dump, when they go to the dump, I think they should have a section where they throw all of those stuff now and then people can go in,
Yeah.
community people can go in and get those stuff to do mulching for their garden.
Yeah.
I can show them how to do it.
I
Yes.
wonder even like that just kind of sparked a thought for me as well. So usually during some parts of the year, Cayman experiences like that sargassum seaweed. Do you think that could even be used for
That is
mulch?
a very good mulch.
Yeah.
When I saw it start coming up in late March, I said, "Whoa, that is natural
Yes.
fertilizer."
Yes, I imagine
So I
so.
think we should collect that and have it at a place where we can continue to use it throughout the
Mhm.
year. So we can farm more community collaborations,
Yes. Yeah.
so that we who have the knowledge we can pass it on to the persons who doesn't have it. Because we have a lot of natural resources here
Mhm.
that we can put into our
Yeah.
garden and our farming sector. It's just motivation, I think, most people need.
And that's the thing. When you actually are motivated and you see like your plants starting to thrive and you start to see like your hot like the fruits, literal fruits of your labor start to be, present, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But like if you don't have the motivation, like what in your thought process, like what's the easiest way for a complete beginner to start the gardening process? Like I am me.
Well,
This is advice directly to
yes,
me.
yes, yes. What I would say to everybody, just plant a seed, it will grow.
Any seed.
Just any seed. Just get a seed, get like a pot in soil, put it in a cup, plant a seed. You
Uh,
see the day you see that seed sprout,
yeah,
it will change your life forever.
I would say so.
Because I always say to people, gardening is a journey.
Yeah.
It's not every crop that you plant will go to fruition, to fruit. But you see when you go out there in the morning and you see that little plant grow
Mhm.
stage by stage by
Mhm.
stage, it motivates you.
Mhm.
And the mistake that you make this time, you say, all right, I did this, maybe I
Yes.
overwater, maybe I
Yeah.
overfed. Next time you try to change that, eventually,
Yeah.
within 6 months or a year, will be a perfect garden. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you, I
Yeah.
can change you into a
Yeah.
master gardener.
Ah, jeez,
Yes.
please. I hope so.
Within a year time, you
So
will see your garden looking good.
you mentioned like the planting the
Mhm.
seeds and watching it grow. To
Mhm.
me, when you say that, it
Mhm.
reminds me of being a parent.
Yes.
And see, for those
Yes.
of you who have children,
Mhm.
like you are literally watering your children every day,
Mhm.
watching them grow, and it's almost like your plant becomes your child. Then,
Yes,
so from what you're
yes,
saying,
yes, because that is what my wife said to me. Say every evening you have to take care of your children outside and in the morning. Yes, I
yeah,
said yes. My plants are like my children because if I don't give my children food, they will die. That's the same thing with the plants. Even a simple thing as water.
true,
You can see sometime in the day when the sun is hot, they kind
yeah,
of will to reserve their energy, and then in
yeah,
the evening now you have to give them a little water to
yeah,
carry them through the night. Not too much
yeah,
water
yeah,
because that will create root rot, but you give them a little water in the
yeah. Uh-huh.
evening, and then in the morning you give them some more water to go through the day.
Wow.
Hmm.
I mean, you mentioned even like it's so much things to start to think about with gardening, and the motivation is now there. We talked a little bit about the soil,
Hmm.
and what types of soil that are available in Cayman, because these are all things that a complete beginner will need to know,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
But I'm not a scientist
Hmm.
by any means, and I
Hmm.
don't think a lot of other people who will be watching this are, because there would be most of beginners like
Hmm.
me. What's one way that you can kind of tell like the difference in the soils? Because just from looking at it,
Hmm.
I wouldn't know. This is all dirt to me.
Oh.
So just let me know. Like, how would you actually, tell a complete beginner to differentiate the different soils in Cayman?
Well, what you can do is you can get a soil testing kit at any one of the garden store. If you,
Seriously.
yeah, you can get a soil to find out the pH level of the soil that you have because plants usually thrive between like 5.5 to
Mhm.
like 6.5. That's a good growing um, level for it. So if it is too high, you can use stuff to bring it down. If it's too low, you can add lime, white
Mhm.
lime, to it to
Mhm.
bring up the pH level of the soil.
Mhm.
But basically, once you do composting, it will help you to the regular soil that you have, you just mix your compost with it,
Yeah.
and that will bring it to the level of what you want it
So
to
with
be.
these kits, then you say it's just readily available at any garden
Yeah,
store.
any gardening
But like,
store.
what do you do with it? So it's like a little test tube or
Yeah,
something.
you take like a little of the soil and then you put it in it, and then you have a like a thermometer thing will show you the level
The
of the
level of
acidic
pH.
level, because
Yeah.
you're basically testing for the acidity of the soil. That is the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing for the plants to grow. And then afterwards, if it's too much, you can adjust. And I
Yeah.
can show people how to test
Yeah.
and to mix their soil, because I mix soil
Yeah.
and I sell the soil too. Yes, I
Seriously.
mix. The special mix that I formulate for growing stuff like in pots and in bags,
Mm-hmm.
I sell that too.
Wow.
Yeah, there is a special formulation that I have done over the years
Mm-hmm.
that allow the plants to thrive right through the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess adjust for different
Mm.
I guess different temperatures, different
Yes.
environments as well.
Yeah. Well, basically, all Cayman Islands have the same
Mm.
temperature. So if I give you a soil and it works in West Bay, more than likely it will
You
work
can
in
work in Georgia
Savannah.
too. Well, that's amazing because I think that's one thing that I kind of like intimidates me about farming or gardening in general is that sometimes to get my hands dirty and to figure out like, okay, well, what's working, what's not, all these different things are, come into play for me at least. But you explaining, the different types of soil and how they work and stuff like that, I mean, that's super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, can you give me an example then of maybe somebody that you've worked with, complete beginner,
Mm-hmm.
and you walk them through the process, you have shown them the type of soil, and they've seen now kind
Yes.
of the fruits of what
Well,
they've invested.
I have a customer. He's a retired, elder in Savannah. And when I
Uh-huh.
go there, I saw his gardening struggle. His garden was struggling, and I showed him exactly what to do to remove
Mm,
certain things from the garden. Like I build plant bed for him,
mm,
and I bring in some of the regular terra soil
mm-hmm,
from Savannah there, and I mixed it with the soil that I have, and also manure and
mm-hmm,
compost. And
mm-hmm.
since then, he reaped callaloo practically 4 weeks after after I installed the seedlings.
Gee.
He started reaping callaloo right now. He's still reaping callaloo, and we're now
Wow.
in July, going to August. And he have reaped many other stuff like sweet pepper, hot
Yeah.
pepper. He have a thriving herb garden now with his rosemary, his scallion, his oregano. So anything that you
Everything.
want to grow can be grown. Even if you have a little 3 gallon pot in a
Yeah.
1 foot square space, you can
Yeah.
grow something. You can grow at least 2 to 3 crops in
What?
that same little pot. Yeah, you can have a simple 3 gallon pot with your arugula
Yeah.
as your lower crops, and then you can have your corn inside, or your okra inside, or your eggplant inside.
Mm,
So all those stuff I will show people what to do,
wow.
and we plan to do hydroponics in the future for those who don't have space for soil. You can have your indoor stuff with
See,
your hydroponic
that's
stuff.
what I
Yes.
would be interested in. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to backtrack just a little bit because you mentioned that his garden was struggling. But how did you know? Like, what were the telltale signs that you can just say right off the bat that this
Mm-hmm.
man's garden is not gonna
No,
make
the
it?
plants, the plants themselves show you
Mm,
when they are not doing well, because they're like droopy and the soil
mm,
is very hard inside the pot, because
mm,
you have to know how to mix the soil to put it in the pot
mm-hmm.
and into the grow box, because after a while by watering it will
Yeah.
get hard. So you have
Mm,
to allow the soil to be aerated for the roots to move
yeah.
around,
That's true.
so
That's
that the
true.
plant can look healthy. So by looking at the plant, you can see when a plant is not doing well
Yes.
based on the signs that it show you. You
Yeah.
understand? Because when you go out there and you can see it look droopy, that
Yeah. And I guess
something
the
is wrong
leaves
with
will
the
start to get
root.
withered,
Yes,
or I guess
yes,
depending on the plant.
yes. Is that it's not getting enough water, or enough mineral is not in the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, from just looking at it, you can see it. Even a
Wow.
beginner can look and say, "Why this plant want a little water?"
I hearing a
And
lot of
do
red
that.
flies
Yes,
because all I'm
yes.
thinking about right now is my poor little
Mm.
seasoned pepper plant at home.
Oh yes, yes,
Before
yes.
I left, her
Yeah,
leaves are going down like
yes, yes.
this.
Because I find out that a lot of Caymanians, they love their seasoned
Oh
pepper.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
what I have observed is one of the hardest set of pepper to grow.
Mm.
Yes, seasoning pepper.
Yeah.
You will start it off and it look good and then it just.
Yes.
You understand? Because when I started to grow pepper, I had success growing pepper back home in Jamaica for years.
Uh-huh.
Sweet pepper, hot pepper. But when I came here and I started to do
The
the
seasoned
seasoned
pepper.
pepper, I went through a lot of fails. But
Okay.
now I am a master of growing it.
Oh
So I
wow, this
can
is
tell
giving me
people,
hope.
yes, I can tell people, if you fail 1 or 2 times, just watch what you're doing and document what you're doing.
Yes.
So the next set you sow, you do it in a different way,
Yes.
and eventually you will get it.
Oh
You
wow.
will get it.
I don't want to make this about me, but
Mhm.
I also really want to know more about the seasoning pepper.
Yes, yes. It's
Because
very
like
hard to
it's
grow.
the same thing for me. Like I
Mhm.
when I first bought it,
Mhm.
so I didn't grow it from scratch.
Oh.
But when I first bought it
Mhm.
with good intentions, it was thriving.
Yeah, because it was coming
Every
from the
week
nursery.
I could harvest
Mhm.
something from my
Mhm.
seasoned pepper after a few
Mhm.
months.
Mhm.
And now it's just gone completely just silent.
So maybe you have to look out for the soil to test if your soil
Yeah.
needs changing, because
Yeah.
when you do gardening, like pot, especially in pots, it's recommended that you change the soil after each crop. So take for instance, you
Mm.
grow tomato in this, and you get it from like you planted it in February and you reap it by May.
Mhm.
If you're gonna plant something different for like August, September, going on, you just change that soil. That
Yeah.
same soil can be recycled, and
Yeah.
plant something else,
Something else, but
but
not the same crop.
not the same crop. You have to
Got
do
you.
soil rotation along with the
Mm.
crop rotation for the for the. That is one of the main issues, because if
Yeah.
you plant but the same thing,
Yeah.
it won't really strive. You have to do the
The
change the
the tree
soil.
will literally just reject it.
Yes, yes, because all those minerals is gone. So it's recommended that you change the soil after each crop. If you have like a raised bed, you would take off like 6 inches off that
Uh-huh.
and put some new manure and compost to restart everything again.
Wow.
Yes.
But it can be compost, not manure.
Manure and compost.
Both?
Yes, you mix them together. You have a formula you use a little, like 1 part manure to like 3 part compost, and then like 2 parts of the regular soil to
Wow,
mix.
Mr.
Yes.
Cecil, it's a good thing you offer the service
Yes.
because I don't
Yes.
think I'll be
Yes.
getting my hands that dirty.
No man, you see. Well, listen. You see, putting your hands in the dirt is like medicine for your body, you know.
But with the manure?
Well, no, with the manure that that we use, it has to be aged. It's not regular manure
Yeah.
no, it has to be aged because it will burn the plant. It's aged manure,
Oh.
like it has to age for like 6 months to a year. You can't just
Oh.
yeah, man. The
So you're
fresh
just not
manure,
going
no,
scooping out the cow
no,
fields?
no. That will burn. That will burn. That will kill your garden.
Oh my
For
goodness.
everybody out there, when you're doing your garden, you have to use aged manure. It's recommended
Oh.
that you use manure like for manure that is aged for like 6 months to 1 year. Don't use fresh manure. It kill your plant.
Get out the cow patches.
Yes, it will kill your plant. Yes,
It will kill your plants.
yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, we spoke about everything now. I mean, you have walked me through the soil, the different environments, how you can take care of the plants. I would love to get more into composting and things like
Yes,
that,
yes.
perhaps in another episode.
Mhm.
But like, I guess with kind of wrapping up this side of things, like what would be some immediate takeaways that you would want to leave with some of the beginners? They just got their seed, right? They've probably starting to Google what composting actually is. But like, you wanted to give us any other key takeaways, just so when we wrap this episode, people can, do a little checklist and
Well,
maybe even give us some action points as
one
well.
of the main thing I would tell everybody, just have a mindset to continue. Because if you plant one seed and it don't germinate, maybe you'll give up. But have a mindset to continue. If you don't see it germinate, you keep sowing and sowing until it germinates. After it
Yeah.
germinates, now you start taking care of it
Yeah.
until you move to your stage where you move it to like a 6 inch pot, then you move it to a 1 gallon pot, then you move it to your 3 gallon pot.
Yeah.
But our service also, we have after sales service where people can call us. If you have an issue with your soil, with your plant, they can call us and say, boy, my plant is not looking good. What can I do? Can you come out and look at it? We have for that service
Yeah.
also, after sales service. So it's just the motivation I want everybody to get.
Yeah.
To say, all right, I want to grow this thing. Because eventually you will save on your food bill. And you will save on your doctor bill because you will get it more clean, safe, healthy food.
Yeah. And I guess that's too, like, even how we see the world going forward, everything is GMO right now. I had a conversation just earlier, and we were talking about the difference between the things that you can get organically in the store versus the things that are GMO. I bought some bananas for my cousin the other day for like $12 for like 5 bananas, and I was
no, and
the GMO ones were just staring me in the face for like $3 a pound.
Yeah, but I say that's why you see, tropical island living is always a paradise.
Yeah.
And when you say paradise, it comes in a full package. Not only to enjoy the beach and the great weather. That great weather must work for your garden also.
Yes, it has to.
So that is our main aim, to get people, because one of the only thing I really see missing in Cayman Island now to create that true paradise is this gardening mentality, to have this thriving garden paradise. Whoa, this would be like heaven.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, like you said, bring down food costs, everything, like making sure you can sustain yourself. Because eventually, I would imagine everything is going to be seedless. You're not going to be able to find any sort of organic items either.
I would also tell people to collect seed, because each plant that you plant, you can allow some to grow to the stage where you get the seed and you start collecting your seeds. So if I buy seed this year, maybe next year or the next 2 years from now, you don't need to buy seed because you have your own seed.
Yeah, that's true.
You have your own natural seed bank.
Wow.
Because I collect seed too, when I like buy fruits at the store, I collect seeds. So I would encourage people to start collecting their seeds.
And that to me is real wealth. Like when I think about real wealthy people, it's people who can provide for themselves, people who know how to, garden and really collect their fruits and collect their vegetables and don't have to rely on any sort of system. So you really opened my eyes right now. And I'm sure other beginner gardeners that are watching or listening, I'm sure they would have taken away some really key points here
and
too.
I always say to people, because when I speak with other people, they always say, why I don't have any space, or I live in a rented area where the landlord doesn't want me to do this, or the strata doesn't want me to do that. Listen, even a little can on your windowsill with a vegetable growing hydroponically.
We will discuss.
Yes. Because sometimes we have a lot of these cups showing around the place. So I usually pick up cups and recycle them and use them to do my little garden. Yes, so this is the local car.
Like I know, like I watched my grandmothers growing up, and they always had something on the windowsill.
Always have.
Whether it's avocado that never grew,
always have something.
Or saving orange seeds or whatever it is.
Yes.
So we got to get back into that mentality, like you say.
I always tell people that our generation is basically the last generation that saw true gardening. Our kids don't really see those stuff, so we have to try to bring back that stuff now to our kids so that they can have some form of education about gardening, because these kids nowadays, they don't really know nothing much, but we have to teach them and bring them into garden, because it's therapy.
Yes.
It's therapy, and it's very good for everybody to do gardening.
That is my hope. That is really my hope, to get to that stage where it's like when I'm stressed, I'm just like, I'm just going to go to my garden. I'm just going to go tend to my plants.
I tell people that it is good therapy.
Yeah.
Because when you go out there early morning before the sun rise and before the air start getting polluted, that natural air is good for your lungs. Yeah,
that's true.
So I would encourage everybody. Just sometimes you have to fight off the mosquitoes,
Well.
But still, the gardening is very good for you. So I would encourage everybody, just get a pot. Plant something.
Well, I definitely want to pick this back up. I know we're running out of time, but I want to pick this up in the next episode, because you mentioned a bunch of things here that I want to get more information on. The hydroponics. I want to get more into the things like you said, the sustaining yourself and all these different things, like the space. I want to get more into that. So I think we will wrap this up on this episode, but I want to encourage like all the viewers and the listeners, we are in a space right now where this type of content is needed. And if you're watching, if you're listening, I would encourage you to, check back with us on the next episode. It's going to be a continuation from our conversation with Mr. Cecil. And yeah, he's going to be delving into a lot more things that are going to be really useful for the times that we are going to be facing ahead. And even just now, whether it's for therapy, whether it is for, just wanting to provide for yourself, all of these different things will be so useful. So stay tuned and join us again next month for the next episode with Mr. Cecil, where we'll continue this conversation. Thank you so much, Mr. Cecil.
Thank you too.
My mind is blown.
Well, thank you too for your time. And I always say, get gardening. That is the best way to go.
Yeah.
Get gardening.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
join us
very
again
much.
here on Let's Get Farming, Cayman.